I am deeply humbled and honored for your presence here today. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share this special moment with my family and I. I also want to thank those who's supposed to watch on social media, but obviously my stuff is not working, but I'll do it later. So don't sweat it. Allow me to give you a little bit of my background as I came to the journey to the United States. 30 years ago, I came to the United States. And believe it or not, it was my destiny. I believe that everything happened for a reason. And in some instances, things happen when we put our minds to it. Allow me to briefly walk you to the journey so you understand that statement. And with that, you might know why I am the way I am. I am the product of two great people, Fernando, my father, who was a worker at a factory, and Irma, my mom, who was a registered nurse. My mom was the youngest one out of the three kids. They grew up poor, but despite the financial challenges, all three siblings achieved careers. My mom chose to be a nurse, but my mom was not happy with that. Unfortunately, despite her success, she was going to be the unlucky one, or to a certain degree. She was born with only one functional kidney, and later on in life she developed hyponatremia, which is when the concentration of the sodium in the blood is abnormally low, eventually developing serious problems in the kidney, the livers, and the heart. But my mom wanted something bigger than life itself. She wanted to become a mother. Having a serious health issues in one of the poorest countries in Central America, when advances in medicines were not so great, having a baby was not going to be an easy task for her. Despite warnings from the doctors of the risks associated with pregnancy and having a child, she took that risk and produced me. As predicted years later, that decision will eventually deteriorate her health and her life, which ended at her young age of only 27 due to heart complications. I was only 6 years old. After my mom passed away, my dad, in search of a better life and future for both, immigrated to the United States, leaving me in the care of my grandmother. My grandmother showed me, did not teach me, showed me the value of perseverance, dedication, and hard work. Unfortunately, her life is going to hit her as well. She developed serious health issues, but despite her health conditions, she continued working selling vegetables, sodas, and fruits in the town's local market until she lost her battle with cancer. She died when she was 68. I was only 15. After my grandma passed away, I packed my bags and went to live with the next siblings, my mother's sister, my aunt. In 1989, the same year I moved over with my aunt, destiny was going to turn things unexpectedly more challenging for me. The Civil War that my native country El Salvador was facing since 1979-1980s took an unexpected turn as the guerrilla conducted an operation called the Final Offensive, also known as the Offensive Hasta el Tope, the Top Offensive. And it was the major engagement in the Salvadoran Civil War at the time. The battle was fought right outside my neighborhood in front of my house. And despite only lasting 1 month, my family and I felt the effect. We were forced to escape to a remote location hidden from the armed conflict. We armed ourselves with whatever we could possible to eat. That means rice, tortillas made out of corn, and beans. At the time, I was more concerned about surviving and not to be killed than going to school. Lucky for me, destiny was about to change the course of my life once again. Things got temporarily settled after the attack, but returned home and continued my studies and my life. However, it was not going to be an easy for me to manage my teenage years, the death of my mom, the death of my grandma, not having a father, and dealing with the challenges of being in high school. However, the lessons from my mom and grandma are perseverance, discipline, bravery, hard work were transferred to me. And thanks to those examples, I was able to graduate with honors in high school. More important, I remain resilient and optimistic about my future. Graduating with honor was great, but now something inside of me was born. I feel that my mom transferred her DNA of a caring and compassionate nursing person, someone who truly cares for the sick and wounded, that I feel the need that I continue her legacy by helping other people as well. That feeling translates into I wanted to become a doctor. It was not gonna be an easy task. The curriculum in my country to become a doctor is an 8-year-long journey. This does not include the financial responsibility that comes with it. In my country, we didn't have school loans. Every student is financially responsible for their education. I was hoping that my dad who could help me achieve my dream, but things got more interesting, and destiny once again changed everything. In December 1991, only 2 months after graduating high school, and 2 years after my grandma's death, I received a notification from the American Embassy that I was informed that a dependent visa that my father had requested has been approved for me to come to America. My dad, after so many years of hard work, patience, and determination, became a U.S. citizen. And with that, the opportunity to obtain a visa and reunited with him to America once and for all. I was excited, but also I was a little unconfident about my future. On February 14, 1992, I left El Salvador and I came with America with everything that I have. A small gym bag with a few pieces of clothes, my photo album, my high school diploma, and all my savings of $400. I took some English classes in a private school before coming to America, but that was not gonna be enough to navigate to the challenges of being in an English-speaking country, especially in New York. I'm just happy that I didn't go to Louisiana. My first job in the US was retrieving shopping carts in a local supermarket and cleaning limousines. I used to work from 0800 to 1600 with a limousine company, and from 1800 to 2200 I was in the supermarket Monday to Friday. On the weekends, I was at the mercy of the supermarket schedule. I was hoping that I could have saved enough money to go to college and achieve my goal to become a doctor. However, I discovered the high cost of education in the US, it was not gonna be an easy. But again, destiny turned things the unexpected way. During my first months in America, I used to send postcards to my friends and family in El Salvador. In those postcards, I describe how beautiful the United States is, how nice people wear, the beautiful landscaping, view of the city that never sleeps, New York. But one day, I forgot to annotate the address in one of the postcards. The window clerk noticed it and made me aware of my error. I used to carry all the addresses of my friends in a piece of paper. And as I was writing the missing address on the counter, I noticed on the left side of the counter a brochure about the selected service. All males over the age of 18 must by law register with selected service. I said to myself, it's the law? I am over 18, both in age and inches tall. And I went ahead and filled the application. And let me tell you, I was impressed with the speed of the post office that the next day I received a call from the United States Marine Corps. Unfortunately, I missed the minimum score requirements to join the Marines. By one point, I was excited that I could achieve something here in America. Upon exiting the Marine recruiter station, I was approached by 2 Army recruiters, Staff Sergeant Maria Gonzalez, United States Army Reserve National Guard, and Sergeant First Class Andrew Sisawich, an active duty recruiter, who eventually were able to enlist with the Army. Young man, they said, you look like a perfect candidate to the Army. Staff Sergeant Gonzalez stated. I replied to her, I am sorry, man, but I just failed the test. Both recruiters looked at each other and replied, which test? The test with the Marines. Oh no, Sergeant First Class, as I would say, we got a better deal for you with the jail bill. Come on over. Destiny again. I took the ASVAB 3 times. I joined the branch to join the military. Because I took the ASVAB of the Marines, by policy, I should have waited 6 months before taking the exam again. But the Army was able to get an exception to policy. However, because I passed the second time with a higher score than the original test, The Army wanted to make sure that I didn't receive the same test twice and not cheat my way in. So I went to another city, the Bronx, to take a different test. My original test was at Brooklyn. My first assignment was at the Defense Language Institute at Lackland for the American Language course before I went to basic training. And let me tell you, I was named the honor graduate of basic training, but I didn't know until 3 years later. During the graduation, out of all the graduates, only 4 people were called center stage. I was the second one to be called. I said to myself, must be because of the alphabetical order. Nope, it can be that. Oh, I know what it is. It's my height. Short people up front, you know? Nope, it's not that one either. It was during my primary leadership development course, also known as basic leader course, that I discovered the Army recognized its top 3 or 4 individuals in its class. A light bulb went into my head and I said, oh, that's what I meant. I was the second one to be called. I got it. So I was the honor graduate for basic training. Long story short, 30 years later, and after so many accomplishments, travelings and challenges, this is where everything ends. Now, let me tell you the rules of engagements regarding this gathering. First of all, this is not a celebration for me. It works. Instead, it is my unique way to thank you. A symbolically thank the American people, not only for an extraordinary 30-year career, but also the opportunity to live the American dream. Thanks to the Army, I have grown, not in high, but professionally and personally, and achieved things that I only could dream about it. And because of that, I was able to influence and help future leaders by mentoring new soldiers coming in and challenge them and bring the best out of them the same way they did to me. It also allows me the opportunity to give my family with opportunities with the uniform. Everything that I had done and accomplished with the uniform was done because of you. You represent every leader that I have been influenced by, that believe in me, that trust me, that gave me the opportunities, and because of that, I thank you. I wish somebody could have given me the magic touch to give me a few inches in high, but I'm just happy that my level of confidence has grown and opportunities for the future are bigger than myself. Second, the military is a volunteer service to this nation. We come freely, whether it is for economic or educational reasons, or because we're voluntold by our parents, or because of our patriotic spirit. Whatever reasons might be, each one of us chooses the Army as our profession and part of our future. I choose it because of education opportunities. The Montgomery G.I. Bill was the way the Army motivated me to enlist. And even though I did not become a doctor, I became something bigger, a positive influence and a role model for a few soldiers. And let me tell you, that was one of the greatest motivational factors to remain in the fort this long. I discovered that I can help others without being a doctor, and this is a great feeling. Tomorrow, the Army is going to thank me for those 30 years that my family and I have volunteered to serve and contribute to the democracy of this country. Tomorrow, I'll be walking the stage in Fort Sam Houston Theater to receive my many thanks for the Army and the American people for the last time. Unfortunately, due to the COVID restrictions, I was allowed to only have 10 guests, and my family took 5. Thank you. And because of that, I rather to do this because I cannot leave this uniform without thanking you. I knew that I was not going to be able to embrace everybody at the ceremony. This is why my family and I decided to do something that symbolized my appreciation once again to every single soldier, NCO, warrant officer, general officers, civilian, staff, both the U.S. and international, that has contributed to the successful path of my military career throughout the years. And here we are. Some chips, some salsa, guacamole, some lemonade, water, things that represent the great state of Texas. Let's call it lunch snack. But wait, Sam Mayor, if this is a lunch representation of Texas, you could have ordered some juicy 16 ounces deboned steaks, some baked potato, some barbecue beans, and some adult beverage. Unfortunately, knowing that I still have a balance in my military star card, and Uncle Sam will ensure that it's paying full before my last paycheck on active duty, I didn't want to take a risk. As you can tell, destiny in my life is working in some mysterious way. I've been lucky, and even luckier since my arrival to America and joining the Army. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. The reason I am who I am today, the reason why I succeeded was due to the single and most significant thing that many leaders that I have encountered gave me. That simple thing that ignited my mind and enlightened my passion to become all I can be. That was confidence. If you think about it, if you listen part of my journey, I'm almost done. How much confidence would someone who came from another country, who cannot speak English, who has no money and no education will have? Probably none. Why confidence is important for me and perhaps for anyone else? Confidence is the ability to feel good about ourselves before we can do something. Leaders have not only confidence in themselves, but also confidence in their vision, have confidence in their people. And because those leaders have confidence in their people, then people have confidence in the leaders. And because the leader has confidence in the people, that gives people confidence. Because confidence is important. Because if you don't have confidence between yourself, then how are you going to give confidence to your people? Because you cannot give to others something that you don't have. During my time, probably with this uniform, I have encountered a tremendous amount of changes, accomplishments, challenges, and opportunities. And today, with a thankful heart, I had the chance to close my time here with a simple but significant gathering. I've been fortunate enough to be surrounded by the most brilliant minds of our profession, both Americans and international. And a few of those has become my friends for life. My international friends are mostly from a land where I spent my career, Germany. And I hope those people that are watching this presentation live, so I want to thank you the opportunity to thank him and acknowledge them. Danke für deine Freundschaft. Danke, dass meine Familie mir erlaubt hast, etwas über deine kleine Kultur zu lernen. Liebe Freunde, du bist immer in meinem Herzen. Amen. To each leader that I had chance to be or his or right-hand person, I thank you for sharing your knowledge, your thoughts, and a little bit of your personal life. I thank you for trusting me with the hardest decision, consider me for critical advice. I thank God the Soul for allowing me the opportunity to guide them, to help them, to mentor you. You are the spark that keeps the old rusty old guy running. And I thank you for trusting me with your career. I thank the United States of America. I thank the American people for creating the American dream and the land of opportunity. I am forever thankful, and I will continue to be a good ambassador representing the United States, the Army, my family, and the NCO Corps. Finally, what am I waiting for? Finally, I want to thank my family. First of all, a few of my people in my native country who's watching. Gracias por su apoyo y por no juzgarme por las decisiones que hice. Al final, solo puse un nombre de mi familia en alto. Gracias y los quiero. To my daughter Amir and to my son Brian. It works. Thank you for supporting me all this time. It's hard to balance personal life and work sometimes, but you know that everything that I did in the military was to provide you with a better future and opportunities. A future that I didn't have myself growing up. I took my own experiences growing up and promised myself that my children are going to have a better future and a better path to success than the one that I have. And I want you to know that I love you more than you can even imagine. And with that, I close this amazing chapter in my life that only could have happened because destiny wanted. May God bless each one of you. May God bless our military. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.